The MMA world never sleeps, and this week proved it again. From unexpected comedy moments to bold championship call-outs, heated controversies, and even a boxing announcement that no one in their right mind thought could ever happen, combat sports fans have been left in shock, disbelief, and amusement all at once. But that's exactly what keeps this sport alive, the fact that every single day the story changes. One moment you're laughing with a champion over his English lessons, and the next you're questioning whether two of the most legendary names in combat sports history should really be stepping into the ring together. So let's break down everything that's been happening, and trust me, by the end you'll see why fans are calling this one of the strangest and most unpredictable weeks in fight history. Let's start light. Alex Pereira may be one of the scariest men in combat sports, a champion who has left a trail of knockouts across two different weight divisions. But outside the cage, he just reminded fans that even the most dangerous fighters have very human struggles. In a clip shared by Glover Teixeira, Pereira was spotted taking English lessons. At first, it seemed like a normal moment, but then came the hilarious twist. Pereira got tripped up by the difference between the words fight and bite. Fans couldn't stop laughing, with some saying that Pereira's confusion made him look more relatable than ever. It was a rare, lighthearted look at a man who usually terrifies opponents. Because while Pereira has knocked out legends in the octagon, outside it, he's still a student just like everyone else, stumbling, laughing, and trying to get better every day.
O Patão aí no inglês, tá sempre no inglês, né, Patão? Sempre tá aprendendo? Agora escreve fight aí, o Patão. Ô, Patão, tá aí.
É o mesmo pronúncia, porra. Como assim?
Mas não, porque é isso. Porque é diferente. Não tem explicação, porque é diferente. Patão, porra, vai ter que ter paciência, cara. Porra, velho. He's no patient.
But while Pereira was giving fans something to laugh about, another former champion wasn't in the mood for jokes. Instead, he was sending a warning shot to the entire lightweight division. Kamaru Usman, the former welterweight king and once pound-for-pound #1, isn't done chasing glory. On his pound-for-pound podcast, Usman made it crystal clear. He wants the winner of the upcoming UFC 322 main event between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena. Usman's message was simple: if JDM pulls off the upset and defends the title against Islam, who better to test him than a former champion who has dominated some of the best fighters in UFC history? And if it's Makhachev who wins, then it's the perfect clash of two pound-for-pound elites. Usman is coming off a dominant win over Joaquin Buckley earlier this year, and he believes that performance showed the world that he still belongs at the very top. Fans may have doubted him after his back-to-back losses to Leon Edwards, but Usman wants everyone to remember, champions aren't defined by one setback, they're defined by what comes after.
If JDM defends and wins defends that title against Islam, who better than to say, okay, let's solidify him as the new generation of champion by taking on the biggest name, the former pound for pound in the division. Of course, and then of course if Islam wins, pound for pound versus pound for pound fighting, I mean, I'm not really worried here. You know, I've done my job to let them know, because they wanted to see, hey, are you still that guy? Can you still hang with these guys? Can you still do your thing? And I've done that. I went in there and I've showed them that, so I'm not worried.
But while Usman's ambition is all about gold and legacy, another story in combat sports this week left fans asking a completely different question. Why hasn't justice been served? The name Raja Jackson has been trending for all the wrong reasons. After his brutal attack on Psycho Stu, many expected an immediate arrest, but surprisingly, nothing has happened yet. No charges, no legal action, nothing. Chael Sonnen, never one to shy away from giving his take, explained why. On the Ariel Helwani show, Sonnen revealed that in the world of pro wrestling, things get blurry. Everyone on the card that night had promised to beat up their opponent. Everyone hit hard, slammed hard, and made it look violent. The only difference was intent. According to Sonnen, Raja appeared to cross that line from performance into real violence. But here's the catch, only Psycho Stu himself can decide whether that line was crossed, until he speaks out and says that wasn't part of the show, there's no crime, there's just entertainment. It's a bizarre situation that blurs the boundary between fiction and reality. Sonnen even revealed that Stu has up to 12 months to decide whether he wants to press charges, and for now, Stu has stayed completely silent. Behind the scenes, Sonnen said Stu feels torn. On one hand, there's a $1 million insurance policy that could pay him out quickly if he presses charges. On the other, there's the identity he's built as a performer, a character who doesn't run to the police when things get real. To Stu, protecting that image may be worth more than money.
Surprised nothing has happened to him? Are you surprised there haven't been any arrests, any charges, anything like that?
No, they can't and they won't make an arrest until Psycho Stu says that wasn't planned. Everybody on the card that night said before the match they're going to beat the hell out of their opponent. Everybody on the card that night, winners and losers, hit their opponent. Everyone on the card that night picked their opponent up, threw him to the ground. The difference was they were performing. What was in their heart was different. It appeared that Raja stopped performing and started to try to injure a man. And that is the difference between the show and a crime. But when I say that's what it appears, only Stu gets to say. The rest of us are marks. Only Psycho Stu gets to say that, and he has up to 12 months. I have a feeling he might drag this on, but they're not gonna go just arrest him because they have a video of a pro wrestling match, and the audience doesn't get to decide what's real and what's not. The audience job is to be entertained and constantly fooled. So they don't actually get to say how bad this was. Only one person does, and that's Stu, and so far, he's remained.
It's a strange, almost surreal story, but while that drama unfolds, another battle is brewing, one that could reshape the lightweight division itself. Jack Della Maddalena has been talking confidently about Islam Makhachev. Recently, he even claimed that Islam's striking won't be as tough as Bilal Muhammad's, pointing to what he sees as a more traditional style. But Islam's longtime coach, Javier Mendez, didn't let that slide. In an interview with Submission Radio, Mendez made it clear JDM is making a dangerous mistake. He warned that Islam's stand-up has been underestimated for years, and anyone who thinks it's easy is in for a brutal surprise. Mendez reminded fans that he's watched Islam dominate even experienced strikers during training. Fighters who were technically better on paper ended up being completely shut down once they stepped in front of him. And according to Mendez, that's exactly what JDM is walking into. It was a direct warning. Underestimate Islam at your own risk.
Feel like people are kind of missing some of the X factors that Islam brings with his striking?
If he's saying that, I hope that he goes in believing that, because when he gets in there with Islam, you're going to find out a whole different story, because I'm sorry, they're completely different, and by no means is Islam an easy for anybody to understand. That any MMA fighter that's a striker, that's not going to have an easy time with him. I've been with this kid like going on 11 years, watching him just destroy everybody on the stand-up, guys that are much better stand-up than him, and he still destroys them. So no, don't go by what you see. When you get in there with that man, it's a whole different ball.
And almost on cue, Islam himself dropped new footage that had fans buzzing even louder. On social media, Islam posted a new training clip showing off crisp combinations, clean defense, and powerful shots that reminded everyone why he's considered one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport. It wasn't just pad work, it was a statement, a reminder that while people keep trying to put doubts on his name, Islam is quietly sharpening every weapon in his arsenal. For JDM, the message couldn't be clearer. This isn't gonna be an easy fight. And while Islam was showing the world his sharpness, another contender in the lightweight division was getting news that he didn't exactly want to hear. Arman Tsarukyan has been campaigning hard for a title shot, hoping to finally get his chance at the belt after years of being on the edge of contention. But according to reports, the UFC has other plans. Instead of a title fight, the promotion is looking to book Tsarukyan against veteran Dan Hooker at UFC Qatar later this year. For Tsarukyan, it's a step sideways, maybe even backward. He was so close to the top, even scheduled to fight for the belt at one point, before pulling out with an injury. Now he's stuck proving himself all over again. For Hooker though, it's the perfect chance to make a comeback. After injuries kept him sidelined, a win over someone like Tsarukyan could put him right back in the mix. It's a high-risk fight for both men, and one that shows how quickly fortunes can change in the UFC. But as shocking as that matchup is, it was nothing compared to what boxing fans heard this week. When the news broke, fans thought it had to be fake, but it's real. Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather have officially agreed to an exhibition fight in 2026. Tyson, now 59 years old, and Mayweather, 48, will step into the ring in what might be the most unexpected matchup in boxing history. For Tyson, it's another chapter in a comeback that already included his fight with Jake Paul. For Mayweather, it's just another chance to prove that money really does follow him everywhere he goes. Tyson admitted he still can't believe Mayweather actually said yes, even calling it dangerous for Floyd to step in there. But Floyd, as always, brushed off the critics, saying nobody can touch his legacy. The announcement sent shockwaves through the combat sports world. Some called it exciting, others called it ridiculous, but nobody could look away. And of course, the internet had plenty to say. From memes to brutal jokes, social media exploded. Fans compared the fight to WWE storylines, with some calling it the peak of circus boxing. Others joked that Jake Paul had officially ruined the sport. But here's the truth, love it or hate it, everyone is talking about it. And when it comes to boxing and MMA, that's exactly what promoters want. So this week had it all. Alex Pereira making fans laugh with his English lessons, Kamaru Usman demanding another shot at glory, Raja Jackson stuck in a controversy that may not end anytime soon, Javier Mendez warning JDM about the danger ahead, Islam Makhachev looking sharp, Arman Tsarukyan facing a tough road, and finally Tyson versus Mayweather, a fight nobody asked for, but everyone's talking about. It's proof that combat sports aren't just about fighting, they're about drama, surprise, and the stories that keep fans glued to their screens. And the craziest part, this might just be the beginning of another unpredictable era. So what do you think? Are these matchups exciting, or is the fight game starting to lose its mind? Drop your thoughts, and let's see where the fans stand.